I'd like to welcome you to BeMoreNews.com, the news before the news, where we uncover the truth. Lester Spence, PhD, Johns Hopkins University. How are you, sir?
I'm doing fine, man. How are you?
Political science extraordinaire, scholar.
Somebody's got to do it.
June 15th, Coppin State NAACP Urban League Mayoral Candidates Forum. A number of candidates were here. Mr. Wilson, what was his first name? I didn't catch it.
Begin with a like
Wilton.
Wilson. Yes.
Otis Rowley, Carl Stokes, Kathy Pugh, Jody Landers, Frank M. Conaway. Your thoughts?
I thought it was a decent debate. I mean, the hard thing is that it's really the things you really want to push the candidates on, right? It's difficult to do it, and it's not a problem of this thing. It's kind of a challenge of the debate format. So a lot of them talked about the idea about basically reducing taxes in order to increase the tax base, thinking that that's going to somehow generate more revenue. And that's like empirically false. I mean, so Councilman Stokes, who I really like, a really, really good guy, really, really smart. He used the examples of San Francisco and Boston, and I think that that Senator Pugh did the same. And it's like San Francisco is a very different city than Baltimore, right? They've been able to basically move their poor out through a variety of different methods, and they also happen to be right in the center of Silicon Valley, which gives them all types of benefits, which enables them. San Francisco their coffers are so flush that if you are a city employee and you want to get a sex change, the city of San Francisco will pay for it. That's how much money they have. So when you're talking about comparing San Francisco
But I thought Maryland was a
Baltimore,
relatively rich state.
I'm talking about the city of Baltimore versus the city of San Francisco. Now, Maryland very well may be a rich state.
Well, just back during the
Baltimore,
presidential elections, it was touted that Maryland had the best schools in the country, but yet the two black jurisdictions, Baltimore City and Prince George's County, are at the bottom of the totem pole. I'm a little perplexed as to what's there to brag about.
Baltimore has very specific challenges and that the Rust Belt in general has. So comparing a Rust Belt city like Baltimore or like Detroit or St. Louis or Gary to a city like San Francisco is kind of like
this is what we do know here. Young black men are not graduating from high school and are more likely,
that's right,
unfortunately, to go to the penal system and be adjudicated.
And if there's one area we really should have hit them on, it is really that. As I'm thinking about it in hindsight's always 2020. That's the thing we should have pushed them on like the whole time, right? It's like, how do you deal with the fact that Baltimore City schools, they basically train people for jobs that don't exist anymore, right? That's really the question, right? That's the question we should be basically hitting these candidates on until the election, until the day after the election.
Were you impressed by any candidate in particular?
No. None of them did really well.
Who won?
There was one candidate who shouldn't have been up there, and if you look at the debate, it'll be clear who that candidate is. I'm not going to talk. I talk about people, but I'm not going to talk about people like that. If you look at the
guy on the far right didn't need to be up there.
If you look at the debate, it's clear who lost.
Okay.
But as far as winners, I mean, they all handled themselves admirably.
Yes, sir.
But the types of answers we really needed, none of them gave.
Good deal. Thank you for your time. Keep watching Be More News. Anything else you wanted to add? We were doing an interview.
Oh, that's all right. No, I love the city. It's really good to see you. I haven't seen you in a long time, and this is dope. Coppin is absolutely beautiful. Beautiful yard. I don't want to just suggest that people go out and vote, but press the hell out these damn candidates, because we really need to create a new type of politics. And I like all these guys, all the people I saw up there I like, but they're not giving us a new politics quite yet.
Thank you for your time, Professor Lester Spence. Keep watching BeMoreNews.com, the news before the news, where we uncover the truth. Mr. Robinson, any thoughts on today's forum? We just talked with Dr. Spence, and great job, J. Howard Henderson.
Well, first and foremost, let me say that it's always a pleasure to be on BeMoreNews.com, the news before the news. This is going to be the first of a long series of discussions that we're going to have. I'm going to tell you, I was very disappointed that the mayor was not here, because...
Well, we know that she doesn't benefit by showing up this early in the race, and if I'm advising her. I'm going to tell her to hold off until it's absolutely necessary, until she can get the television camera.
See, here's the problem.
She's trying to win. She's not trying to prove she's the better candidate.
Well, I think part of it is you got to have touch with the common folk.
She's got $2 million. That's enough commercials to be common.
I'm glad she's got the money. But you know what? If you're not on the ground hearing what people say, you get in the glass tower and you don't hear what your people need to hear. Let me say that I'm hoping that she does show up at a debate or debates as this process goes along. And I look forward to joining you at the next major debate.
Yes, sir. Thank you very much, Charles Robinson.
You're welcome.
Good deal. Keep watching BeMoreNews.com, the news before the news, where we uncover the truth.